It's a bloodbath. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Yechave daat 4, I think. Let's see if I'm right. Book 4, Siman 29. No, Siman 28. I might need some help on the Hebrew, okay? How to pronounce these words. Haim tal lenashim latet podra, powder. How do you say it? Pudra. Al penehen b'Shabbat. Can women?
I think it's Hebrew, but
it's modern Hebrew. Whenever they take a modern Hebrew with a, I don't know how to pronounce it. Can they take powder and put it on their face on Shabbat? Or yesh bazeh isud mishum sivi'ah b'Shabbat. Or maybe it's forbidden because they're coloring the face on Shabbat. Coloring is one of the 39 malachot because they used to dye the wools for the Mishkan, right? The purple wools and all this stuff. Okay. The Masechet Shabbat shaninu b'Braita. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar omer, Mishum Rabbi Eliezer, Isha lo ta'avis sirak al paneh b'Shabbat mishum shesovat. It says that a woman should not put makeup on her face because she's coloring her face. Rashi says, sirak hu seba edom. What is the sirak, this makeup the Gemara is mentioning? It's a red colored, let's call it blush, I guess. It's a red colored makeup. She'asui leha'adim hapanim. It's made to make the face redder. Someone like me doesn't need that. V'chen nefsak le'alachav Shulchan Aruch says this. Asur le'isha leha'abit sirak al pinei b'Shabbat. So it takes exactly the same words right out of the Gemara Shulchan Aruch. She can't put sirak on her face. Mishum sobeya, because she's coloring her face. And also because of this, says Shulchan Aruch, a woman can't put kahol, she can't put eyeliner, blue. In the Gemara, they call eyeliner blue, kahol. The Chatu Magen Avraham and the Aharonim, they write, if it's a cosmetic that women color their face with, they cannot put it on Shabbat. Safton, like lipstick. Sfaton. Sfaton hamiyu'al le'odim sifatayim mishum isur sabiyah. So what is seen from here, the same thing would apply to lipstick because it's also coloring the lips. The Katan Maran Bet Yosef, Maran Shulchan Aruch writes in the Bet Yosef, she'isur zehu midrabanan. It's a question whether the makeup on Shabbat is midrabanan, forbidden from the rabbis, or it's forbidden from the Torah, which is even worse. Maran Shulchan Aruch says it's a rabbinic isur. It's not a biblical, it's rabbinic. Like the Rambam holds. Rambam holds it's a rabbinic. Okay. Netinat hapudra, powder. If it's English, just write English. Netinat. It drives me bananas when they do this. Netinat hapudra ala panim b'Shabbat domeh leha'avalat sirak al panea she'asru hazal. And so it seems from here that putting the powder on the face would be just as bad as putting any other makeup on Shabbat. Okay. However, says the Chamadia, Ulam, after we do research, we can make a difference, says the Chamadia, between regular makeup, which stays much longer on the face, and putting powder on the face, which doesn't stay long. It'll go off after a certain amount of time on its own. And it's not considered long lasting. So the powder, completely powder makeup, oil-free makeup, would not last long. If it doesn't last long, it won't fulfill what Rashi says. Srak is something that lasts on the face a long time, and therefore it should not, maybe would not be asur. You're allowed to put pleasant smelling pleasant smelling, let's say, cologne on your body on Shabbat, not on your clothes, on your body on Shabbat, because it doesn't last long. So it doesn't last long. It's not considered making the smell in there. Same thing maybe for the makeup. If you put powder free, completely oil free, cream free, only powder, it doesn't last long. Maybe it should be allowed. Okay. So who says, it should be the same halacha. So same thing for powder. I want to try to say that it's allowed. Moshe Feinstein wrote in his sefer that the powder makeup is allowed on Shabbat because there's no cream in it and there's no oil. So one for the Ashkenazim. The reason why they made makeup forbidden on Shabbat is because it sticks to the face, to the skin, for a long time. Like the Meiri writes, and quote, this is what the Meiri writes when he explains the Shabbat. Asur le'isha le'abid tzrak al paneh b'Shabbat, v'hu hadbakat samim adomim al paneha le'alot atzma she'i na'eh. The Meiri tells us what it is in his commentary to the Gemara. It is putting some ingredients, some samim, spices, not spices, but like minerals, something on the face for a woman to make her look prettier. Because it's coloring the face. And most of the Gedolim say this. And so that would be for long lasting. About afkat pudra, but the powder, it doesn't stick to the face. Maybe even rabbinical, there's no yisud. So again, the cream, Hacham Ovadiah holds like the Rambam. The cream and the oil makeup is forbidden midrabanan. And so now the powder is one removed from the Rabbanan, that's even allowed, even midrabanan. He holds there's no deoraita when it comes to the makeup. Hacham Ovadiah. Still forbidden from the rabbis. Rabbi Abraham Chaim Naeh agrees with this. He was one of the great Lubavitch poskim, and the Sfaradim hold like him on a lot of stuff. And he writes, "Shekol she'en hatzeba nidbak yafeh b'nitzba lo shayach bo geder tzvi'ah." If it doesn't stick very tight, the color doesn't stay a long time, it's not called coloring. And therefore, Chaim Naeh says you can use the cosmetics that are completely powder. Okay, let's skip that part. No, I don't want to go into there. It's a side issue. Okay, let me skip this one. It's very short halacha. It seems to me to rule halachically leniently, like the Rav Moshe Feinstein, whether it's a white powder, because some people want to say you can't put red powder, only a white powder. Chamadah says I would say it's allowed even a white powder. Or whether it's a colored powder, it's okay. Since the whole thing we're afraid of is anyway rabbinic, and even that is a mahloket, because the Rif didn't even include cosmetics on Shabbat in his halachot at all, so maybe he even holds it's even allowed rabbinically. Why? Because the Rif holds, Rabbi Fasi was Sephardi, because the person in the Gemara who says cosmetics is asur, is forbidden, is a singular opinion that's not the majority. We don't hold like him because I don't call makeup coloring. So even the Rif holds all makeup would be allowed. That's what Muhammad is saying. The Rif was one of the great three poskim. The Rif, the Rambam, and the Rosh. The Rif holds all makeup is allowed. Even midoraita and midrabanan. Everyone else holds it's asur, but the Rambam says it's only asur midrabanan. And so you're going to ask me, maybe I should make color makeup asur and white makeup allowed. I'm going to make it all allowed because it's anyway safek. Even though if you read Shulchan Aruch, he says you cannot put makeup on Shabbat, and he doesn't differentiate between powder, white, and colors. He just says asur. About don't add to the Maran Shulchan Aruch and add to his words and say that he even means powder. That's something that's not stuck into the face. Like putting on regular lipstick and regular makeup. And he finishes off and he says, therefore, we should make it allowed, and it is kosher to put powder. Gam siv'onit, even colored powder. Ubibad shelo tiyeh me'orevet b'mishha or cream. Cream, right? Or kram.
No,
Cream.
no. Let's say the kilo or something.
It's English. It's English. So as long as there is zero oil and there is zero liquid and there is zero cream in this makeup, which I think a lot of them they claim to be powder, but they're not really powder. But if you find one that's truly powder free, 100%, it would be allowed. He holds it's allowed. He holds another reason to make it allowed, so that the women they should be presentable and their husbands should want them. They should be pretty to their husbands. Especially for a woman who usually puts makeup. And if she doesn't put makeup on Saturday, the husband will be like, Shabbat Shalom, whoa, what's going on here? So he says it's another reason, if a woman usually puts it, that she should continue to put the makeup on Shabbat. When it comes to something midrabanan, safek midrabanan kula, we go lenient. Easy halakha. And he says, therefore, it is allowed to put the powder on Shabbat. Now, one thing. Let's just read Yakut Yosef. This is his son now. This is the current chief rabbi, Yechave Yosef. He gets just a couple of different like verbiage. He says, Asur le'isha le'ha'abid sarak apanea. It's forbidden for a woman to put makeup on her face. Shu'seba bahid b'dabar hamitkayim. It's talking about something that's going to last. Mishum didami letzbi'ah, because it's similar to coloring and dyeing. D-Y. But she can put the powder. Because the powder doesn't last a long time. As long as cream. As long as the powder is not mixed with oil and cream. It is forbidden for a woman to put lipstick on Shabbat. Nail polish? What's lac? What kind of, is that an English word? Nail polish. A woman cannot put nail polish either on Shabbat. It's not Hebrew. There's one thing we have to understand here. We are concerned about the coloring of the face, that it shouldn't be a permanent coloring. Permanent doesn't mean forever. It means it lasts a while. A lot of women out there on Shabbat, they put an oily foundation first, a normal cream-based foundation first, and then after candlelighting, they put the powder. So it sticks to the cream that's on their face. It's like a little loophole that people use. This would not be kosher. It doesn't seem that it's kosher, because it doesn't matter how you go around doing it. At the end of the day, if you put the powder on Shabbat and your face is all primed and ready to take whatever it takes and sticks to the face, you're accomplishing the same goal that we don't want to accomplish. And so that is not something that we would want to do. And so I know that I think when it comes to lipstick, some people told me, relatives, that they put a lipstick first. I don't know how it works exactly. Some sort of lipstick before candlelighting, and then right after they put another powder lipstick, and it lasts a long time because it's one on top of the other. No, because you want to make sure the face is not oily and creamy, and the point is that it should not last. That's the point. While we're on the topic, let's read one more halakha. Ha'ochel b'Shabbat miperot hamish'irim roshem shel seba biyadav. If a person eats on Shabbat red fruits, red berries that make a color, kegon tutim v'limonim, like strawberries and pomegranates. And so is it allowed for the lips? A lady says, fine, I'm going to eat a lot of strawberries then to make my lips red. Is that allowed? And the answer is, he said, let's see what he says. First, he says there is a problem of dyeing onto paper, right? And so the napkin, if you put the napkin right on the berries and you make the napkin red, that wouldn't be such a good idea. So wash your hands first, rinse off the berries, and then use the napkin. And then he says, I think he says about the lips here, that it's allowed. Maybe not here. He says it's allowed. A woman can indeed use berries to make her lips red. One more halakha about this. There is a mahloket when it comes to dyeing beverages. Some people, the Ben Ish Chai, I believe, writes that when you should make before the Shabbat the coffee, put a little bit of coffee in the water, so all the water is already colored. So that on Shabbat, when you make the coffee, you're not coloring the water. Or can you mix, I don't know, lemonade with grape juice or something? Because you're going to make the whole thing. So Chacham Ovadia holds that there is no transgression of dyeing beverages and food. We hold this. It doesn't. I'm not sure what the Ashkenaz halakha is. We hold there is nothing to worry about when it comes to food. You can mix the food. You could put the strawberry in the water. It's fine, even though it makes it all red. It's perfectly allowed. Okay. So halachot about dyeing. Back to the lips. Lipstick. I'm not sure. I actually want to ask my wife. My wife has this lipstick she bought. I think it's called. It's a Shabbos lipstick by a Jewish company. I think it's called Seventh Day something. Have you heard this? Seventh Day Shine? I think Seventh Day Shine, I think it's called. And I'm not sure how the lipstick works. I just asked her, how does lipstick work? So she read the box. And on the box it says, if you put lipstick right before Shabbat and add our lipstick powder to it, it'll last a long time. It's not allowed. I don't know where they're getting that. Maybe Ashkenazim. But for us, it's not allowed. But everything else is oil-free. I think there's another brand. Ladies, help me out here. I think it's called Bare Essentials, Bare Minerals. No? I think Bare Minerals would be 100% powder-free. 100%. I believe so. Yeah? Anyway, that's the halakha. Bottom line. Women with makeup on Shabbat, cream, no. If there's oil-based, no. If it's 100% powder-free, it is allowed on Shabbat. But you can't prime your face before Shabbat with an oil or a cream. It has to be a regular face, and then you can put powder makeup on Shabbat. Okay, guys.
If there is lipstick before Shabbat and it's last one of those lipsticks,
That's okay.
That's okay.
But don't add more to it. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay before Shabbat.
We're going to talk about men.